Hello everyone, Alistair Gold here. Tottenham Hotspur. You crazy, mad, frustrating, occasionally beautiful thing. I honestly don't know how newcomers to the football fandom world of Tottenham Hotspur can just kind of comprehend days like yesterday. We're kind of used to it because, let's be honest, no one does late drama quite like Tottenham Hotspur. But I just imagine for people going to like their first game, I know certainly one chap who was telling me he was on his way to his first ever home game watching Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, how do you comprehend the ridiculousness of yesterday? We're kind of used to it. We're kind of used to, sometimes in a bad way, with the late kind of heartbreak. But more often than not, when it comes to late drama, it's normally pretty good for Spurs. And that was just sensational. It was everything that football is about. Obviously, the despair for Sheffield United, of course, but just the joy of the 60,000 people or so in a stadium, all absolutely going mad and sharing this moment together with the players, with the manager, with the coaching staff and everyone. It was absolutely the perfect ending to a very much imperfect game. It really was. It was absolute bedlam, honestly. Those final scenes, I've just been watching. I think I've spent the last, obviously been writing all about it, but I have spent probably the last, 12, 15, 16 hours since it finished, watching so many clips of so many moments, fan cams. I'm not normally one for watching fan cams, but watching some of people's just footage of their view of the crazy end to the game. I love it. I love it. I know the expression's limbs, isn't it? Just watching everyone just going amazing. It's amazing to watch people just in the way they react to it. Honestly, seeing them going crazy in the stands, and you see the players swarming across the pitch and from the bench as well. Sonny sprinted off the bench when Kulusevski scored that wonderful goal. Vicario ran the length of the pitch from his goal to get involved. So he kind of leapt over the players on the ground. I think Basuma was having like a cramp on the floor and actually in pain. And Vicario like leaps over everyone and just starts going to the crowd. Van der Ven gets involved, and then he sees Porro's come off the bench, and he's such a big young Dutch giant, Van der Ven. He lifts Pedro Porro off the floor as if he is like a crisp. It's just like such a light kind of thing he looks as he just lifts him up into the air. And then he turns and roars to the West Ham, Van der Ven. And, this is a 22-year-old. And I saw him kind of after the game as well, and the way he was celebrating. They all now just identify already with what Tottenham Hotspur is about and all the pain and joy that can bring. It's just wonderful to see. I mean, if you want to look at how quickly Ange Postecoglou has created this tight-knit squad, a kind of a family already, this very young family, you only need to look at, I suppose, not only the players who came off the bench and played a massive part for me in those final 15, 20 minutes or so, but also you could look at those who weren't even involved on the day and the part that they kind of felt. They felt a part of everything. I mean, Alejo Velis, who, has had a little injury that while he's been with the first team, hasn't really been able to get involved with first team training until I think it was Thursday. So he isn't someone that has been massively involved with anything. Just watch him. There's a clip. I think it's Lily White Rose on Twitter has got the clip of he and Brian Hill, when the goal goes in, absolutely going mad. They're like yanking back and forth this advertising hoarding in front of them, or trying to at least. They are going crazy at the goal. Ashley Phillips is alongside them as well. He was there as like it used to be called the 21st man. I can't remember what it's called now. Actually, no, it was the 19th man before. Maybe it is the 21st man now. Oh, all the extra subs has confused me. He was there in case of injury or illness on the day as the next in line. Honestly, he is going mad, roaring and pumping his fists. And on the other side of them, you've got Rodrigo Bentancur, who is absolutely ecstatic, celebrating while holding a drink of that mate, the South American drink, and he's trying not to spill it while going mad. It's like the footballer equivalent of fans holding a beer and trying not to throw it in the air. And then alongside him, You've got Giovanni Lo Celso with his cap on backwards, just going crazy and pumping the air with his fist. Honestly, these are players that haven't even been named, some of them, in the squad. And they are just as invested in everything that's going on. That is huge for the football club. Honestly, I could see a lot of it going on down beneath me in the dugout area, but then kind of getting to see these little details a little bit closer up in some of the videos of kind of, I think they've taken them off the TV or whatever. And I think that gives you an even better insight into what's going on right now within Tottenham and what Postecoglou's doing. And it is remarkable. I cannot stress, and we'll talk about this again towards the end of the video, Spurs lost one of their best ever players in their history that everyone was so worried about losing. And right now, they've probably felt, I don't think they've felt as together as a club in probably, half a decade. It is incredible what Postecoglou has done. Honestly, I cannot give him enough credit. There's a long way to go, and it is very early days. But honestly, just watching what he's doing with these players and how he's getting them feeling a part of it is remarkable. It really is. I mean, even like Eric Dyer, Fraser Forster, Porro, Son, all ran towards Richarlison at the final whistle as well. So you had all the celebrations with the goal, but then what was it, about 2 minutes later, you had them all running at Richarlison, and they did that little kind of jogging in a line up to the south stand to the celebration. It's become a bit of a thing in big moments. And obviously Sonny was just constantly pushing Richarlison to the front to say, this is your moment. And it was fantastic for him as well. We'll have a little chat about Richarlison after his tough time, and this was the perfect end to the week for him. I'm so happy for him. And just watch Yves Bissouma, who he's fallen in love with Tottenham Hotspur. He has, honestly. Just he did this Instagram post yesterday. And you can tell sometimes, I think, when it's done by someone who does social media, and also you can see when it's done by someone who has generally just got their own phone and decided to do it. And, he's like, I can't remember the exact words, but something like, I love this club, I love the fans, I love this stadium, I love it. It's just I love in everything. And it's superb. It's just watching him at the end of the game. He kind of went over to Richarlison, grabbed the scruff of the back of his neck and pulled it up and turned him round so the fans could all see Richarlison on his back. And then he went over, launched himself at the crossbar, and very impressively, at the end of 115 minutes of football, was it? He pulled himself up onto the crossbar and just kind of looked at everyone and roared at them, and then came back down and started dancing his way off the pitch, as well as jumping into Sonny's arms. They just all bought into it. And Maddison as well. Maddison just conducting the crowd in most games. There were so many moments, even when they were 1-0 down, when he was going up and doing that, and like geeing them all up. They're so... And Romero, I have never seen Romero as invested in just kind of leading the team. He ended the game as captain as well. And he was... I think it's just such a masterstroke giving him the vice-captaincy, or one of the vice-captaincy role. It really is. Just seeing how involved he is. And I think it was his first foul yesterday, and it was only the one, I think. And yeah, I've seen Arsenal fans kind of taking a pop at it and taking a mickey out of the celebrations, but I'm pretty sure, unless I'm mistaken, didn't they do something similar against Bournemouth? And pundits were taking the mickey out of them for it because they scored a late goal and were doing all these celebrations. Enjoy football. That's what it's there for. It is a game. We're all there. It's supposed to make us happy. It's going to break our hearts, but ultimately we're meant to enjoy it. And if you can't enjoy it, 2 goals scored, in the 108th and 110th minute or something like that. I can't remember the exact minutes, but if you can't enjoy that, what's wrong with you? You've got to be dead inside. It was brilliant. It was fantastic. It was the latest winning comeback in Premier League history because of this new way of, counting up the minutes. And